The Great Depression was a very crucial and vital part of U.S. history, and it started in the late 1920s and went throughout the 1930s. Back in the 1920s, President Coolidge, who was a very conservative man, brought up the stock market as it had skyrocketed, and some people say it did too well because the market had become way overpriced. And one of his problems was that people could borrow and invest in stock much easier than they can today in some people's eyes. And that would lead to how the Great Depression started because of how well things had gone, which meant that the downfall would be tremendous, and which led to the Great Depression. As seen in this chart, the unemployment rate for the United States grew tremendously in the span of about 2 years, starting in the 1930s. And once Roosevelt had come into president, he instantly knew that change was needed. As for people had realized they were overextended and needed to sell stock, and adding on top of the chaos with President Hoover, who was previously president in between Coolidge and Roosevelt, who had a treasurer under him who helped with his decisions and realized and thought that the government didn't need to step in and help out with these issues that were just piling on as things got worse throughout the country, as they thought that things would just follow their natural course and eventually fix themselves, which they wouldn't. And once Roosevelt got into office at the beginning of the Depression as a social liberal, he started fixing these problems, and the government came up with programs to fix these issues, as one was the Blue Ridge Parkway and building that up and needing people to work that, which is cool because that's in North Carolina and close to the campus of App, real nears. And he started the Social Security programs, and this included Congress passing the Securities Act of 1933 and the Security Exchange Act of 1934. Obviously, it's also known as the SEC, not the conference, but was designed to restore investor confidence in our capital markets by giving investors in markets with more reliable info and clear rules when it came to dealing with money honestly and fair. An example was the child welfare, which provided kids with resources to live a better life as they had been struggling. And that was only one of many. And then ended the Great Depression when World War II began with that, which provided numerous jobs because we need people to fight. And that's what slowly ended the Great Depression. And that is a basic overview of Chapter 6 and how the Great Depression skyrocketed and slowed down Roosevelt during the 1930s and slowly ended with World War II in the 1940s. Thank you.